Planning and Zoning Commission for the City of Granbury will now come to order at 6 p.m. on Monday, August 11th, 2025, Granbury City Hall, City Council Chambers. The first item on the agenda tonight is public comments on agenda items that are non-public agenda items, which is the only thing on that is our minutes. Do we have anyone that would like to speak at this time? If not, we'll move to our consent agenda, which is approval of the regular meeting minutes from July 14th, 2025. Do you have any corrections or changes? I had one to the last page, just that I adjourned the meeting, but it was just clerical type stuff. Anybody else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to, and I have been with staff to make that change. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes. Who was that? Mr. Allen has a motion on the table to approve the minutes. Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Moore. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda tonight is D1, a public hearing to consider approving the request of Chris Blevins to replat lots 3A-R1 and 3C-R, Block 5 of the Trailer Horton Addition, 0.549 acres, located at 851 North Keith Street. Cody?
Thank you, Ms. Chair. So this is located at 815 North Keith Street. It is 0.549 acres. Lot 3A-R1 had already been platted or replatted. They needed to shore up some lot lines between Lot 3A-R1 and then plat out 3CR. So this is going to make two residential lots in the end, and they are zoned 8.4 residential. Here's a schematic of the plat. On July 24th, 2025, city staff mailed out 19 public notices to all property owners within 200 feet and on the municipal tax roll within 200 feet of the subject property. On July 26th, notice was also published in the Hood County News as required by state law and the zoning ordinance. As of this writing, one letter has been received in favor and none opposed. And staff recommends approval of the replat. And the voting options for tonight recommend approval of the replat or recommend denial of the replat. And again, this is a residential replat, and that's the reason it comes to y'all by state law.
Thank you, Cody. I'll open the public hearing. Is the applicant here? And if so, would you like to speak? Okay. Do we need the applicant to come to the podium for any questions, commission members? If not, I'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion on the replat request, please.
Chair, I recommend approval of the replat.
A motion by Mr. Hafes to approve the replat as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hallman. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is D2, a public hearing to consider the request of Chris Pinion for a zoning change from interim holding to PD light commercial and interim holding to light commercial, located at 3210 Loop 567. Cody?
Yes, ma'am. So this is 6.9 acres. A portion of this was actually recently, last November, annexed in. It is zoned interim holding as for now. There has been a plat application submitted, but we're still waiting on the zoning. The proposed is to develop a convenience store with fuel pumps and a truck stop with fueling only for the truck stop. And then there's going to be two additional lots off of this that would be straight zone light commercial with this zoning proposal. And like I mentioned, they're proposing to develop a convenience store with a restaurant, fuel pumps, and truck fueling only. And the other two portions as light commercial. And I've got a schematic for that real quick. So this is the portion that's going to be zoned PD light commercial that would house the convenience store with pumps. And then these two parcels are going to be the light commercial. So one would have access off the loop, the other would have access off 377, and then there'd be continued access through all three lots. And for the PD zoning, the project requests or the variances requested on this, permitted uses, convenience store with fuel pumps allowed in the light commercial district, and truck stop fueling only, also allowed in the light commercial district. And then parking, they're proposing convenience store parking to be provided based on one parking space per 265 square foot of the building. And the fourth and final variance, the quantity of parking spaces provided shall not exceed 100% of the required amount. Just meaning they're not going to overpark and meet the 125% like we see every now and then. This is the proposed site plan for the restaurant and gas station and the proposed elevations. And the landscape plan. Now we shortened this up, so if you like it, let me know. If you don't, and you want all the original questions back on here, I can put them back on here instead of just the answers. But per the zoning ordinance, section 2.3D, the P&Z considerations are as followed. The PD light commercial and light commercial zoning change would allow for more fueling and food options on the west side of town. Infrastructure is available to the site, and the change from interim holding to PD, LC, and LC districts will not result in any additional school demand. And this change represents a small increase in the overall supply of light commercial land in the city. And the comprehensive plan supports office, retail, and other commercial development on the property, so no change will be needed. The properties in the area near the Loop 567 and Highway 377 intersection on the west side are zoned IH or are located in the county. And this proposal would increase the number of properties zoned PDLC and LC. On July 31st, city staff mailed out 5 public notices to all property owners within 200 feet of the municipal tax roll and 200 feet of the subject property. Notice on July 26th was also published in the Hood County News as required by state law and the zoning ordinance. As of this writing, 0 letters in favor or against. And staff recommends approval of the request to change from interim holding to PD light commercial and interim holding to light commercial. And the voting options for tonight: recommend approval of the zoning change for PD light commercial zoning, or recommend denial of the zoning change.
Thank you, Cody. I'll open the public hearing. Is the applicant here? And if so, would you like to speak?
We're here. I'm glad to answer any questions.
Any questions, commission members? If so, I'll have them come forward. No, not on that end of the table either. Okay. So if no questions, then questions for staff, I'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion on the zoning change, please.
I'll recommend approval of the zoning change as presented.
I have a motion by Mr. Hallman to approve the zoning change as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hayes. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda tonight is D3, a public hearing to consider the request of Bill Baird for a specific use permit to allow for used auto sales, auto repair, major, small tractor, and small implement sales and service and repair, new and used ATV sales, new trailer sales, and golf cart sales, new and used in light commercial zoning. The property is located at 4603 East Highway 377. Cody?
Yes, ma'am. This is 8.08 acres. It's lot 1, block 1 of Saratoga Phase 1A. And the proposed use is going to stay the same for right now. They're updating their SUP so that they could phase their SUP properly to allow for the used auto sales will be going away once the new Nissan dealership is opened up. So small tractor, small implement sales, service repair, new and used ATV sales, and new trailer sales and golf cart sales, new and used. Yes, it's a mouthful. I'm sorry. That will all remain on the whole property as a whole. The current zoning is heavy commercial, and with a few of these, it requires the SUP in order to operate even in heavy commercial. The Phase 1 site plan is going to look something like this. This is currently how it is today, where the dealership still has auto cars, new and used, on the lot, and then the rest of this would be housed by the ATVs and tractors. And then Phase 2 site plan The whole property would be taken over by the tractor implement sales and the ATV, UTV, all of that mouthful again. And they would operate solely off of that. And for the specific use permit considerations, the surrounding area consists of similar uses from construction equipment rental, sales, automotive repair, heavy, and other commercial uses. The application description of a specific use requested is for used auto sales, auto repair major, small tractor and small implement sales, and service and repair, new and used ATV sales, new trailer sales, and golf cart sales, new and used, which requires a SUP. And I think we know what this says. I'm not going to go through this whole list again. This is a commercial use and considered reasonable use in context with the comprehensive land use plan designation of commercial and uses nearby that have similar outdoor uses. And the use does not appear to have any impacts on the surrounding area. The property is zoned HC and located on the frontage of US Highway 377, a major thoroughfare, and access on Saratoga Boulevard. Commercial businesses surround the property along the highway, and the proposed use appears to be an appropriate use for the general area. And the site is already developed and operating. Conditions may be recommended or imposed. On July 31st, 2025, city staff mailed out 11 public notices to all property owners within 200 feet and on the municipal tax roll within 200 feet of the subject property. Notice on July 26, 2024 was also published in the Hood County News as required by state law and the zoning ordinance. As of this writing, 0 letters in favor or against. And the staff recommendations. Number 1, used auto sales, auto repair major, small tractor and small implement sales and service and repair, new and used ATV sales, new trailer sales and golf cart sales, new and used. The site plan shown on Exhibit A is the governing site plan for the property. All parking, maneuvering, display, and storage on an improved hard surface. SUP subject to code requirements, permits, periodic inspections, and fees as established. And violation requirements may cause SUP to become null and void or certificate of occupancy to be revoked. And the voting options for tonight: recommend approval of the SUP as presented, recommend approval with additional conditions, or recommend denial of the SUP.
Thank you, Cody. I'll open the public hearing. And Mr. Baird, would you like to speak on this on behalf of the applicant?
Well, Cody did a very good job explaining, I think, what's going on. But this is all, there's a current SUP that has about a small portion of the site devoted to the tractor and ATV sales. And the original SUP did not include the body shop, which is at the far eastern portion of the property. They're not operating a body shop anymore, so we're expanding the SUP to include, in Phase 1, the body shop area for tractor and ATV sales. Phase 2 will be whenever the new Nissan dealership is finished and we move down the street for the auto sales, then the entire block, the entire lot here becomes tractor, ATV, trailer, implement sales, and so forth. So that's why there's a phasing, because it's all related to expanding the SUP area and then moving Nissan down the highway.
Any questions for the applicant?
No.
Mr. Moore?
Yes, sir. When y'all move down to the new store, will you take the used cars down there as well, or will there still be used cars at this location?
Used cars will go down with new car sales.
Okay.
This will totally be tractor, ATV, trailer, implement sales.
Golf carts, okay.
It's become a very big part of their business, actually.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Baird. If not, I'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion on the SUP request.
I'll make a motion to approve.
A motion by Mr. Moore to approve the SUP as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hallman. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. There no further business. This meeting is adjourned for tonight. Thank you all for coming.